Lo-Fi Horror Guys Growing on You Live Season 11 is sponsored by All In Merchandise. Bam! All In Merch is your source for the finest band merch from early hardcore to up-and-coming bands. All In is the go-to. Each item is developed with the artists and decorated with care in upstate New York by folks, cats that love the music and they love the scene. You know what I'm saying? Proceeds are issued directly back to the artists. Order your merch at allinmerch.com and support your favorite band. And 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the Lo-Fi Horror Guy. Welcome to another episode of the Lo-Fi Horror Guys Growing on You Live. Today, I'm going to be having on my dude, Wayne Lozinak of Hatebreed. Oh my God, I cannot wait. We're going to be talking this record, some other stuff, some early things as far as his interest in music. I can't wait. This is going to be so sick. Wayne, how's it going, man?
It's good. Can you see me? Because I can't see you yet.
Uh-oh, let's see here.
It's just spinning. Oh, there we go.
All right. Awesome. Hey, man, thank you so much. This is so awesome. First and foremost, thanks for your time. I truly appreciate it, dude.
No problem. I'm just waking up here. It's noon, so
beautiful. Same
it's
here.
Kind of early for me.
Okay. Was it a good Saturday night at least, or
it was
just staying up? Oh, okay.
It was good.
Okay, very good.
Quite a couple friends, some a little too many beers, I think, though, for an early afternoon podcast Instagram thing here.
All right, touche. I love that. That's even better. We'll have fun with it. We'll go right with it. So now here on Growing on You Live, basically I have a couple of just icebreaker questions initially. The remainder of the interview is about you, your craft, your career in music there, and then I have one finale that I wrote just for you, man. So if you're all set, we're gonna get it going.
I'm set. I'm ready.
I'm not gonna pick your brain too much. Don't worry now.
All right.
So first off, let me ask you, as far as if my wife and I do some traveling, if we're coming through Connecticut, what would be a restaurant or a go-to food staple, according to you, that we would have to try?
Connecticut. Let's see. Well, there was a place that I've always liked to go to. I haven't been there in a while, but the place called Massimo's in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
It's an Italian restaurant, and they have good food there.
Also,
nice. There's a place called Michelizzi's Italian Ice, also in Bridgeport, which is very good. Been there for a long time. My buddy Jay owns it. Mm-hmm. Check that place out.
Sweet. Okay. Nice. You can't go wrong with Italian. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It seems like no matter. Maybe some spots might be a little spotty, but
right, this is true.
I love that. I had to recant that a little bit because there's a couple out there that you're like, maybe not, but
yeah, it's okay. You can find something good at somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, agree. Let me. This might be something I'll pick your brain a little bit. If you could be in a side project, while we're in this pandemic and everything's slowed down, and you could have recorded one song with 3 other musicians, who else would make up this band?
Let's see. I'm going to have to say John Donay from Anthrax Shadows Fall.
Oh, my God, yes.
He's a great guitar player. I love Shadows Fall, but he's also really fun to drink with and hang out with. So that's one. Let's see. A singer, I'm just going to go Rob Halford. Classic, old school, one of the best metal singers ever.
Of course.
Bass, let's see. We're going to throw Jason Newsted in there because he hasn't done anything in a long time, and I think he needs to do something. So if I can be the one to bring him back, which I'm not going to be, but if I could, I would take him in there. And Sweet. Drums, let's see. Well, there's so many good drummers out there.
Mm-hmm.
Drums, I'm going to go with another friend who's fun, who I did a dime bash with, Art Cruz, who is now in Lamb of God.
Yes.
I mean, there's tons of people I would do it with, but this is just off the top of my head.
I love it.
Up, so if hopefully I didn't offend anyone if I forgot you or something, but I think that would be a fun band to play in.
Yeah.
Rob Halford singing.
Good God. Yeah, that would be absolutely sick. That'd be something to see for sure. So
yes, that would be very different.
I love that. All right. So as far as, taking it back a little bit into your youth, your younger days, what were some songs or albums that made an impression on you, initially just being a little kid and you heard something, you're like, hey, what is that? What was something that resonated with you?
The first band that I ever got into was Kiss, which I think a lot of people my age, when you're a little kid in the 70s, that was my father had Kiss records. And I guess probably just the pictures of these crazy guys with makeup and fire and blood and everything. And then I actually liked the music too. So that's what started it all off for me in the beginning.
Sweet.
And then I'd say once I actually started playing guitar and like knowing what I was doing, I'd say like Ozzy and Metallica were probably the two biggest influences as far as me playing wise goes.
Okay. Now, with your interest in Kiss, did you have some Halloweens that you dressed up as them and
I
painted your
actually
face
did.
and all that?
Actually, if you go scroll down my Instagram, I put a Flashback Friday or Throwback Thursday, one of those days. And when I was in kindergarten, I dressed up as Paul Stanley for Halloween, and actually went to school like that. I'm like, had like a wig my mother put on me, her platform boots, and like we put like her necklaces on the boots for chains because we didn't have any chains, but we made it work. So yeah, that was
Hell
a long
yeah.
time ago.
Man, I love that. That's awesome. What is your favorite interpretation of what Kiss means? How about that? That's a little discussion that,
That is
everybody
an
has
interesting question. Well,
tons
they're
of different
definitely a
things.
huge, marketing, band. They had like even when I was a kid, they had lunch boxes and color forms. I don't even know if you know what those are, but those
Yeah.
are like everything. And then they're still going, and there's people from all generations like them, and a lot of people, like older guys that we tour with, a lot of them loved Kiss too. Some people don't like them; they think they're kind of corny and this and that. But I mean, I think they're great bands, even besides all the theatrics and everything. But they're definitely,
Sure.
and they're still going. So
Sure. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
crazy, and still
yeah.
playing arenas. It's not like they're just a lot of these
Huge.
'80s bands are doing little clubs and doing whatever they could do, but they're still packing arenas now. So
Yeah, okay, okay. I was meaning more so like the interpretation of the letters. You know how people say it's like night in Satan's
oh
service. It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
different
yeah,
things like
gotcha.
that. Have
So I
there
gave
been?
you a whole explanation you didn't even need.
I love it. It's still good.
That's the one I always heard. The knights, either knights or kings in Satan's service. But
Okay.
obviously I don't think that's what it actually is. Someone, I don't know who made it up, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely, I've heard those two things.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Nice. What was the first album that you remember buying with your own money? Going into a store, whether it was a check from from work or maybe an allowance, some birthday money.
I was thinking a lot. I've heard that question before, and when I was younger, my parents were divorced, so I saw my father every weekend. And part of me hanging out with him, we'd go to the record store and he'd buy me a record like almost every week. So I had a huge collection
Oh
before I
wow.
even had any money. But
Hmm.
the one thing I do remember, I think I was like 12, and you could go to the store and get an album with $10 and get change back.
Hmm.
So I brought my $10 bill to buy the new Judas Priest Turbo album,
Oh,
and the
sweet.
guy's like 1072 or something, and I looked at him, I'm like 1070. What do you mean 1072? And he's like, and he even said he's like, I don't know why the new Judas Priest is more expensive, but for some reason it's more expensive. So it was like the first time I had actually bust out another dollar on top of my $10 bill to get that Judas
Damn.
Priest record. So I
Wow.
still don't know the answer to that. If everything went up then, or if it was just that album.
Damn, okay. Yeah, they're
But
like,
yeah,
we see the demand and we're gonna add some change onto this bad
yeah,
boy.
maybe
Break
because
the
they had
bill.
like synthesized guitars or something. They had to throw an extra, 70 cents for those. I don't know.
Okay, okay. What were some of these record shops that you would frequent with your dad? Was there certain ones that were
Yep,
local to
there
you
was
or
it was called Graff Wadman. So if anyone from Connecticut here and as old as me would know that, they had one in the Trumbull Mall, and then they
Hmm.
had one in Stratford at the dock. I think there was a couple other ones, but it was a local small chain, but they had everything. Like they had T-shirts, posters, like all the metal ones. And then later on, when I was a young teenager, there was a place in Waterbury called Phoenix Records, and
Mm.
that's where I first saw bootlegs. Like they had like live Metallica audio stuff that people snuck in their jackets, whatever, in videos. Yep, Holly Lane, my buddy Tony
Okay.
over there, he knows.
Nice.
But yeah,
Nice.
that was the first. So then I started buying these like bootleg videos. I was like Metallica live at '86 that a fan recorded. So this is
Mm.
before Cliff 'Em All came out.
Oh,
That was
okay.
cool. Those were the two spots.
Okay. Can you remember a time going into a record shop and, maybe it was something that was out on a display or something, but something that just drew you in by the cover art? Is there an album that you can think of that just the artwork, you were like, what the hell is
There's
this?
I don't know if it was so much the artwork, but it was the band, the way the band looked. And this is going way back, supposed to maybe like '84. So I was a Motley Crue fan, you know, shout out to Devil.
Mm.
And then I saw this other band, and I'm looking at them. I never heard a song, nothing, but they looked cool and they looked crazy. They looked like a crazier Motley Crue to me, and that was Wasp. So I was like, I looked at them. I'm like, I've never
Nice.
heard a song, but I know I'm gonna like this band, so I'm just gonna buy this album. And I bought it, and I liked it, so I was right.
Oh, even better. You know, that was one of those things. You know, like back. You know, I guess I should say, when I was a kid, you know, there were still CD stores, there were still record
Right.
shops that were relevant, and you know, it was one of those things where you didn't really know because I mean, you didn't know what it sounded like. So you
Yeah,
know,
it's
you're
not
like,
like now. You could just press a button on your phone. You could hear anything you want.
yeah. So you know, it was a little bit more of a risk. You know, it was kind of fun, especially if all you had is $10 and you spent it on an album that
Exactly.
sucks. You
And
know, it's
then
like,
now you need
oh.
11. So
Yeah. Right. Where did playing guitar come into the picture then, as far as being a fan? What was your first guitar, and what were some earlier songs that you wanted to learn riff wise?
well, my father played a little bit. So he always had a guitar just kicking around. So I would just kind of pick it up and strum on it and make a bunch of noise, not knowing what I was doing. And then I eventually started taking lessons, and I started learning like, just basic, like kind of like acoustic style chords and stuff. And then my cousin took one guitar lesson, and they taught him the intro to Living After Midnight. And I'm
Oh,
like
okay.
playing for months, just all these like acoustic songs and stuff. I didn't know any metal songs, which is what I wanted to play. But my teacher's like, you got to learn the basics first. So
Hmm.
then he showed me that, and I was like, and then that was it. So Living After Midnight was the
That's
first
a start.
metal riff, I guess, that I
Okay.
learned. And then I think Crazy Train was the first whole song. I remember learning like the whole thing, the solo and everything. And then
Oh.
from there, I just started playing, Metallica and stuff like that, and just trying to play along to the albums.
Oh, okay. So like Crazy Train would have been one of those earlier, tracks where you kind of had to take some time and sit down and, go
Oh
over
yeah,
figuring all of
definitely.
it out.
It was so
Sweet.
long ago,
Okay.
I don't remember how long it took, but it definitely took a while to get that one down.
Yeah, solo and all shit.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
imagine. Wow. Did you ever have any lessons at all yourself, even, some years later after playing, or was it always just self-taught?
No, I took lessons when I first started, and
Okay.
then well for a few years, but then I started like getting like Guitar Player magazine, and then they would have like songs in there with tablature. So
Hmm.
that's I would like learn a lot of stuff from there, and then buy like the actual album song books that had the tablets. Like I can't actually read music. Like I could if I sat there and looked at every note and went like A B, it would take forever. But like tablature, when it has the numbers and like that stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty much like that. And then most of it's by ear though now.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, that's one thing. I mean, as far as myself as a guitarist, I guess I can't say that, but like I play drums, and so over the years, it's become more of a thing where just being able to listen to something I can play along. But guitar, I've always kind of
Yeah.
aspired as far as looking at buddies and bands, and I'm like, you just listen to it twice and you just know
Yeah,
this shit already.
that's one good thing I can do. I'm pretty good at learning stuff by ear.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Did you ever? Now, I hear that associated with some people mention doing like cover bands. Have you ever played in bar bands or cover bands
Oh
as far as
yeah.
picking up?
Yep.
Okay.
I played
We.
in actually my first band ever was a cover band in high school. So we were
Okay.
freshmen in high school, and we played like everything that from Ozzy, Metallica, Sabbath, Zeppelin, and then we even played like Testament and DRI, Sacred Reich. We played
Damn.
all that stuff in high school. Biohazard towards the
Damn.
end of high school, and then I started in a bunch of different original bands, and then in like the early 2000s, I just needed money. It was like something to do, and I was in a bar band, cover band in like 2000, 2001, 2002. We played like whatever was on the radio. We
Mm.
just played like what was popular, like the hard rock songs or modern rock or whatever you call it. So,
Sure. Sure.
but yeah, it was definitely a lot different doing that. It was fun. I mean, you're playing music, making a little side money.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now with the shows and playing at different things for high school, Was that something where like you guys were on top of the world and like all the kids would show up to these shows and it'd be a packed
Oh
house?
yeah, it was great. And they let us play. There was this bar in Stratford, Connecticut called the Frog Pond, and we were like, I think we were like the youngest kids. I think one of the other guys' uncle knew the owner, and he let us play on like a Sunday afternoon. So we like sold tickets at high school. It was like a pizza party and soda in the bar, like on a Sunday, and we did like I think like 30 songs or something crazy like that. So it was great, and we played like the spring weekend at the high school, which was and with a bunch of bands. So yeah, it was definitely cool.
Nice. I was going to ask as far as if it's, if it's one of those things where, playing those early shows and then getting to actually playing a band and going out to venues, and where there might be 10 people there, you kind of get this impression like, wait, what the fuck happened?
Oh yeah.
All these people love me here.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, everyone starts somewhere. It's even when, I've been in probably like, I don't know, 10 bands or something. So even if I was in like a band that was popular with tons of people, as soon as you're getting a new band, then it's back to like, the same old thing. So, yeah. But it's, as long as people are into it.
For sure. And I mean, you're having fun, you're
right,
liking
that
it.
too. And it's what I do for fun that I enjoy. So even if there's nobody there, it's still fun to play music.
Yeah.
Whether it's cover songs or originals, it doesn't even matter. I just, if I think I'd still be in a cover band now if I didn't have a Hatebreed to play in.
Damn. Okay. Now you've mentioned before in different interviews as far as, when you're off the road, you're pretty involved with still going and seeing live music, seeing concerts. What have been some of your favorite concerts that you've gone to, or maybe a favorite concert that you've gone to just as a fan? The band wasn't incorporated in it. You just went.
I probably one of the most recent ones I got to see. I was in San Francisco and I saw the Metallica S&M show, S&M2 show. So the one that was like, it was the new Warriors Stadium that just opened, and it was just I was like 10 rows back from the stage.
Holy shit!
And then there was an actual fan there who I was walking in, and he's like, Wayne. I'm like, yeah, how's it going? Like, I don't get recognized all that much. I'm not like some super famous person, but every once in a while someone will be there, notice. And then he's like, hey, you want to trade with my wife will sit back here and you could come up with me and sit next to me in the second row and watch some songs if you want. And I was like, all right. So I was with my girlfriend and I was like, do you mind? And she's like, no, go ahead. So his wife sat back with my girlfriend for some songs and I went up to the second row and it was just like, this is cool. And they were like right there.
Damn.
Unreal. That was a great show too. With the orchestra and everything.
Now, how did that work as far as, because I mean, I didn't really even hear of that happening until the album was being announced. How did you hear, like, did you get an email or something as far as the concert being?
No, I think I just saw it on maybe Metallica's Instagram or something, like live show coming. Huh. And then it was like last minute. I actually bought it, like it was like one of those ticket sites or something.
Okay. All right. It was out in California, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you just
flew out. No, I was out there. I was out there already. Is that what?
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay.
I'm in a long distance relationship at the moment, so my girlfriend lives out there. So I was there. We were just hanging out, like it was like a Sunday or Saturday or something, like at a bar watching, like football or something. And then I was like, "There's a show is happening here. Like I have to go. How could I miss this event?"
Yeah, damn, that's awesome. I love that. Now touching on, writing with Hatebreed, whether, we're taking it back to like 94 or maybe even in 09 when you were kind of rejoining, full time. What were some memories of early riffs that you brought to the table, just kind of helping out, skeleton out some albums?
Right. In the early days, I joined, like they were together for a little while, like as a 4-piece. So they had a few songs already written and they played one show as a 4-piece. I think they played like 3 songs. I don't even think the lyrics were even written. I think he might have been making them up on some of them on the spot from what I remember. And so I joined then. I was friends with the drummer, Dave. And, I was like, oh, I see you guys only have one guitar player. Do you need another one? He was like, yeah, man, come down, try out or whatever. I was like, all right. So then he gave me a few songs. And then, I joined. And then we would just get together back then in the band room and jam on songs and ideas. Most people just had they had mostly, a few riffs here and there. And they just kind of put the songs together then. And like But now it's completely different. Now it's mostly Jamie and Chris are actually the main songwriters of the band, and Jamie writes all the lyrics and a lot of the riffs, and BD writes the riffs, and then but we put it together in the studio, so we have like pre-production, and then we'll be like, here's a riff, and then we just try and make the songs in the studio. We record them as they're being written, so we don't even know what they're going to sound like. Like, Jamie, Chris will be like, play this, and then we'll try and throw different ideas there, so then we can try different tempos, different drum beats, and stuff like that. And then it's crazy from how they start to the finished product when you hear it, when you're putting down all different riffs and stuff. And then but I write all my solos, which is pretty different for Hatebreed. Once I joined, there wasn't really any solos in there.
Okay.
And then the song but I also wrote the Herd Will Scatter. That's one of the new ones. So the intro riff and the main verse riff, that was mine. So that song was based off my ideas. But mostly it's Jamie and Chris, and then I write the solos.
Oh, okay. Yeah. When I was talking with Chris, and he had mentioned, as far as going into write for the newest album, that he had like a laptop or a phone or something that he saved all of his shit on and completely wiped everything. I was oh my God, what a disaster.
It's crazy. Yeah, I got to get into like new technology with like recording stuff. I'm like just pressing record on my iPhone.
Yeah.
And, just playing into that, and then trying to listen to like, here's the riff, here's my solo.
Nice. That's cool.
I'm behind the times.
Now when you kind of came back like in 2009, just tell us as far as the process with your guys' live sets, and just coming up and learn, or having to know 40 to 50 songs for tours, and just kind of going, where did that start? How long?
I don't know if you know, but 2006, I actually came back as the guitar tech.
Right.
So I was already on tour with them, them and some other bands here and there for like, almost 2.5 years or so. I was hearing the songs every night in my head. It was like, and plus during, sound check or something, sometimes the band, not everyone would come to sound check. So I would have to check stuff. So I would jam with Matt every once in a while, or the drum tech. So I had a pretty fresh idea of the songs before. So when I joined, it was kind of just seamless. I was already there. I was already basically on the bus. So it wasn't really too hard because I was so familiar with them at that point.
Okay. Has it been for just years and years that the band has always done that, as far as mixing up the set lists every night?
Yeah, because we don't even have a set list.
Right.
Like, he just calls them out. So there's a main call out sheet of like maybe 30 or 40 songs or something like that, and then so we know the very first song, and then that's it. Then we got to listen. So he announces over the mic. Sometimes we can't hear him through the monitor, and we're looking at each other like, what did he say? You just got to be ready. Sometimes it's been pretty good, but every once in a while, someone won't know hear him, and it'd start like a different song or something. but luckily it's been okay.
Yeah, I guess I can say, like, as a fan, it brings a whole different energy to seeing you guys live. I've seen you guys a few times now, and it's just one of those things where, maybe the second time I didn't realize that, but then once I found that out and I saw you guys, I'm like, holy shit, this is wild. Like, they just have all these songs stored up, and whatever gets called out, they're jamming. It's like.
And Jamie, he does it. He feeds off the crowd. It's like he'll know how they react to a certain song. He kind of knows what they want to hear, if it's old stuff or new stuff. So that's why he does it, because he has to keep the momentum going like the whole time, and he does a good job at it. So
totally, yeah.
So every once in a while we'll do set lists though, like if it's especially for opening for a band, and we don't want to go over our set time, because if you're just calling out songs and you don't know, if you have another song, but.
Okay, got you. What is your pre-show ritual? Maybe not even a ritual, but just something where you're getting ready, you're kind of centering yourself before going out on stage. Do you have a drink? You do some stretching? What do you got going on there?
Well, I'm usually the first one to the stage, like while they're still setting up. I'm behind the amp. Like, we have guitar techs and everything, and they're great at doing what they do. But I just like to put my guitar on behind the amps, warm up there, tune it, so I'm ready to go. Show clothes, guitar. So as soon as the intro music stops, then I could just walk out, and I know everything's good. So I like to tune my guitars usually, even though they're in tune anyway. But it's just it's kind of like a OCD kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah, totally, totally. I can appreciate that for sure. I think it's one of those things. Just saying, you go up and everything's all right, but you just want to do the double checks and the triple checks.
I triple check everything. Can't help it.
Okay, nice. What would be a song that you could say maybe off of the last couple albums? We'll even say that never gets played, but you wish that would be on the set list or that would get called out that you'd love to play.
I'd have to relearn it because if it's not in the set list, we'd have to go back. But
you're right.
I was Slaughtered in Their Dreams. I thought was a good one. It's It's definitely heavier and different, so I don't know how it would go over with the crowd, but it's definitely a different, like real metal sounding song, and has a cool solo in it. Well, I think anyway.
Totally.
But that would be a cool one. And from the self-titled, there's Between Hell and a Heartbeat. That one's another one that we've never played. It's very, very different and metal sounding. So I think those two would be pretty cool.
Okay. Now you're going on the road. One thing that I always look for as far as, when I'm kind of scanning the band, and I always notice about Wayne when I see you on the stage, is that black cap. You always, you have the old blacked out ball cap there. What are your go-tos that you have to have on the road with you?
Well, we need the stage hat and the off-stage hat because we don't want to walk around with the sweaty stage hat all the time, even though I've done that and it's horrible. And we need the tight black Levi's jeans and the wristbands. Those are a must.
Okay. Damn. Okay. All right. Is it
normally the sleeveless T-shirt as well.
Okay. Very key. I like that. I like that. All right.
The typical, nothing weird, fancy. I don't know.
Right. As far as hats though, do you have like the Harley Davidson, or is there a couple of them that you
we got that. We got the New York Giants, Yankees every once in a while.
Okay.
I think that's about it.
Sweet.
Pretty basic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, myself being a hat guy, it's something that I always notice in somebody that has, some sort of consistency or continually. I like to ask, just as far as seeing what you got repping up there. I like that.
Yeah. Yes. This is what we got today.
Bam. There it is. All right. Off stage.
Yeah. Sometimes on stage. Not in a while, but
yeah. Sadly. Yeah. Wait, so touching on Weight of a False Self, Chris had mentioned, like I said earlier, as far as losing, some of his riffs and whatnot, and you brought up some of the things, but on this album, you had ripped some solos. So tell us about, were those things that you kind of had before going into the studio? Was that something that you had planned, or was that something that popped up?
No, that's another thing. Jamie will, we don't know if there's going to be a solo. Jamie will be like, so we want a solo in this song, one in this song, and I want it from here to here, so I come up with them all, after the song, the riffs are recorded, and the song is basically done. And then Zeus, our producer, who helps out a lot with everything, he makes us sound good. He'll tell us if something isn't good, like if we need to change something. So it'll just be me and him in there, and we'll try different things. And I'll go home and really go, basically have the riffs on a loop, and then just try different things, and then come back to the studio with the final idea that I have.
Okay.
Yeah, it definitely takes. It's not a one and done kind of thing. I gotta, I gotta do it. Make sure I like them. Try different things, change stuff here and there.
Yeah. And I appreciate too. I think I say this quite a bit, but it's something that always resonates with me as far as solos is, something kind of like in the Metallica fashion where it might not be the flashiest, sweeping and crazy, but it's something that resonates with you, and you listen to it and it's kind of ticking in the back of your head. I always love that and appreciate that too. So, and hearing that ripping on some Hatebreed, I can always dig that.
Yeah. And I think our newest song, Cling to Life, that's I think the solo brings it to a whole new level, and that's one of the longest. Because I remember playing a part, and then Zeus, he's like, "No, keep going." I'm like, "Oh, longer?" I'm like, all right. So I get to play the more of it. So we don't have too many, like I said. So any chance I get to do something is always cool. I think that one brought the song out a lot more.
And now, is it Invoking Dominance that starts out with the drum solo?
No, that's the Herd Will Scatter.
The Herd Will Scatter.
Yeah, that's the one that I wrote the intro and the basically to have that kind of drum thing. It comes out like, you know, pretty aggressive.
Fuck yes. Yeah, absolutely. That was another point on the album where I was like, oh, this is sick. It's something
Yeah.
a little bit different. You know,
Yep.
I always appreciate, and you guys mentioned this too, you know, where it's not, you know, album after album, you're not taking something completely kooky or in, you know, having keyboards or something, but it's always cool to see the change ups, you know, as far as like different tempos and different ideas. And the drum solo at the beginning was sick.
Yeah. It's still the basic, you know, we try and mix hardcore with metal like we've always done. It might have been a little more basic back in the early days, but it's still like, you know, people are like, oh, you used to be hardcore, now you're metal. But it's really, if you go back and listen to Severed and Puritan, I mean, those songs they're tuned down to C, and they're slow, and they're pretty metal. So for, you know, it was just you know more basic, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But we all love both types of music, so we combine and we play, and it's good for us because we can play a hardcore show one day, a metal show the next day, and no one even, you know, we fit in somehow with both of them, which I love.
Yeah, totally, totally. Now, as far as the new album here, and I got my copy here through,
nice.
Was it Martyr Store?
You guys Martyr Store, yeah.
You guys had signed copies.
Yeah,
so,
that took a long time. We had boxes and boxes. That took hours to do, but.
Oh, okay, okay. Was that something you guys have done before?
We've signed some stuff before. I don't remember if it was this much, but but nowadays everyone streams stuff, so you got to kind of give them something extra so they want to buy the physical copy. So with, you know, the limited edition colored vinyl and all that stuff and signed, you know, hopefully it would give someone more incentive than to just be like, oh, I'm just gonna listen to it on Spotify or Apple Music. Why bother buying it? You know, it's not like the old days where you either bought it at the record store or you gave your friend like a blank cassette and he recorded it for you, and then the quality wasn't as good. But those are the only options now. You get it the second it comes out. So it was something just to give the fans something different.
Sweet. Yeah, I mean, I know that especially with Hatebreed fans, everybody, you know, there's such a diehard following and love for the music, and that was one thing too that I thought was cool. Is it's like, holy shit, you know, they went and they all, you know, sometimes you might see like one person that signs something, they send it out, and it even back here came with a print that had like a poster inside of it too that was also signed. Like, holy shit, I can only imagine the time you guys took on that.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
I got my buddy Tom here chiming in. My old band, Youthful Offenders. That's what he's talking about. I had solos on that album. So if you can find that, that's a rare one. But yeah, those are good too, Tom. You're right.
Nice, nice. Okay, all right. Have you had anything in the last few years that you've, you know, resurfaced, or something that was an earlier project that you've went back and re-recorded with?
We probably should. I've thought about doing stuff like that because there's a lot of good stuff, but nothing. Haven't actually done it.
Oh, okay.
Especially with Hatebreed, there's not really that much time when things are open, you know. But yeah, I'll have to, you know, might have to do something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. One thing I've seen, I've heard you mention too, through this time off and, you know, kind of just keeping busy with things, is doing some riding, doing some motorcycle riding there. Tell us about your first bike.
My first one was, let's see, I think that was it was over 20 years ago. I had a 1966 BSA chopper, and I bought it at a pawn shop. I was just sitting out. I used to, before I started touring, I drove a coffee truck, like a lunch truck. You know, go to the trucks with the silver doors on the back. You sell food to construction workers and car dealerships and all that. And one of my stops was a pawn shop, and I looked, and there was just a chopper for sale. It was like, I think it was like $1,000 or something. And I was like, damn. And I've been wanting, you know, a motorcycle for years at that point. I've always loved Harleys and stuff like that. So I bought that, and I'm surprised that thing was that thing was dangerous. I'm surprised it even ran. It had a kickstart, which didn't always, you know, didn't always start. But yeah, that was my first one. And then I got a year later, I got a 55 Harley pan shovel.
Ooh,
which that was nice. That was another kickstart, but then it was leaking oil, and then it wouldn't start the kickstart and everything, and I didn't have the money to fix it back then. So, but yeah, those were my earliest ones.
Okay. So now what's the bike that you got right now, most recently?
Now I have a 2008 Softail Custom.
Okay.
Fuel injection, nice ride, smooth. I still would like to get like a nice shovelhead chopper just for fun. But this one is just I know it's reliable and it's
Yeah.
fun to ride.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. With let's say you go, tomorrow you pick up you find yourself a chopper, all right, and they say, hey, look, Wayne, for helping us out for grabbing this bike here, we'll do a little customizing for you, and we'll, what do you want? And you come up with some sort of lyrics from Hatebreed. What Hatebreed lyric
Lyrics.
would you have written on that bad boy to, just make it look
Ooh,
a little bit that much better? You know what I'm saying?
there's so many. I don't even know where I would start with those. I do like. I have to say, it might not be cooler or anything, but the song we don't even play it the song ever, but a lesson lived is a lesson learned.
Oh
I
yeah.
always that's because I agree with that very strongly. So I always thought that was a cool line.
Okay.
But there's
Nice.
definitely I'd have to go scan. There's so many lyrics for
Yeah,
cool ones.
yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay, and maybe even learning from that first chopper where you're like, "Hey, I don't
Yeah,
need
there
this
you
big
go.
of
Perfect.
a motherfucker."
Yeah, I'll put that one on the new reliable fuel injected one.
Nice, nice. All right, and now my last question I want to ask, with all the touring, all the traveling you guys have done, what is a maybe a trinket or an item or something that you've picked up along the road, that is just something that's important to you that you can't get rid of? Maybe may it be a gift from somebody, or something that you found from different shops.
I'm gonna definitely have to say we were on tour with Black Label Society, and Zach actually gave me a vest. It was like the last, the Black Label vest with the
Oh
patches and all
yeah.
that. And it was the last day of the tour, and the security guy, Phil, was like, "Hey, come on the bus. Zach wants to talk to you." And I'm like, "Okay." And he comes walking out. I was like, "Hey, man, try this on. Let's see what we're in." He's like, put it on. He's like fixing it. Like, "Oh yeah, that looks good. That looks good like that." And I'm just like, I was like baffled because it's like one of my childhood, heroes. From I saw him when I was 14 years old, and
Hmm.
I saw him on the No Rest for the Wicked tour. So to be on tour with
Damn.
him was one thing, and then to have him like come around the dressing room and like joke around and everything, and then for him to give me an actual vest, from him, stage worn, so it still smelled like him too, like all nasty and sweaty. But so I thought
Damn.
that's definitely one of the coolest things I've ever got. I think on tour.
Wow. Man, there was like no conversation at all as far as like, hey man, I love your vests. Like that's
Well,
great.
I actually I was talking to the bass player JD, and I was just like, I think I was just like, "Hey, you sell these?" Like, and he's like, "Hey man, you want?" He's like, "You could have mine." And I was like, "This is the bass one I like." He's like, "Try it on." I was like, "All right," and it was kind of small. I was like, "Oh, it's a little tight." He's like, "Oh, don't worry, man. Give me your address. I'll send you one." And I was like, I didn't really think anything of it. I thought it was, he's just being cool. And then like the end of the tour, then they just Zach just gave me one. So I was like,
Damn.
that was cool.
Wow.
Unexpected too.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that would have been cool even from one of the other members of the band,
Yeah,
but then to
yeah,
get it from Zach
definitely.
too. Holy shit.
Yeah,
Wow. That's awesome. Really cool story. I love
yeah.
that.
That was a fun tour. It was us, them, and the Butcher Babies.
Oh,
That
okay.
was a good
Wow.
time.
It's a different blend.
Yeah, yeah. It was definitely a
But sick.
variety. That's for sure.
Okay.
It
Okay. I
worked
know
though.
one of the last times I saw you guys, I think it was like Job for a Cowboy and
Oh
This Is
yeah.
Hell and
Yep.
maybe even Terror. It was like a really wild, different. But
Yeah,
that's one
yeah.
of the
I
cool
remember that
things
one.
with Hatebreed is seeing you guys, in all of the different, kind of subgenres of metal or heavy music, or maybe not even the heaviest stuff. It's really cool that
Yeah.
it blends and it works for a
And
lot of
like
different.
even the last we just did the 25th anniversary tours, and it was like the Cro-Mags and Obituary,
Oh,
and
dude,
just those two bands alone, like legendary um, death metal and hardcore bands on the same bill, plus
totally.
all the other bands. That was a great tour. So
Yeah.
that's what I said. I love being able to play with either one. We could play the Cro-Mags, Agnostic Front, Terror, or whoever, and then go play with like Slayer, Exodus, and then we could even go play with Five Finger Death Punch.
Hmm.
We play somehow we fit in on all these tours, and they all work for us,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, totally. I love it. Yeah, I mean it's sick, and it's definitely always a treat seeing you guys. So once everything opens back up, I can't wait to see you guys again and see you guys playing some of this new music. I'm
Yeah,
stoked to see what you guys are going to be doing live.
Yeah, I'm wondering too. I don't even know what songs we're
Yeah.
playing live. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Shit. Nice. All right. So this is your opportunity. That's my last question I had for you. I do have this one finale, but this is your opportunity as far as to let everybody know. If you have some things to say, some news you want to share, some different things. This is all you, my man.
All right. Well, let's. One other thing that we actually had come out during the pandemic was our own beer. So
Oh yeah,
it's called the
okay.
Breed Brew. So
Yeah.
which was cool. We actually did a couple like small events where we signed posters and took some pictures, and you got like merch and stuff like that. So that's available in Connecticut from Witch Doctor Brewing Company. That's where
Mm-hmm.
they actually make it and everything. And then you could go to Halftime Beverage and order online.
Mm.
And they don't ship to every state. It's kind of weird. I don't know if it's some kind of law, but so you have to check to see if they ship to your area first. But so that was cool. That's definitely
Okay.
pick some of that up if you're a beer drinker.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Is there? Do you guys have any sort of plans on doing, another, because this one's like a pilsner, right?
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
like a lager pilsner type. Like there's definitely talks we might do some type of IPA. We're supposed to actually do a non-alcoholic
Ah.
one too for the non-drinkers out there.
Oh,
So
really?
we're
Shit.
going to try and cover the board with this one.
Okay, okay. I always kind of wondered once you guys did that if you guys were going to do some sort of an energy drink. I know I remember seeing
I'm
Monster for the
surprised. Yeah, I'm
longest.
surprised we don't.
Yeah.
That's Jamie's thing. He loves those. Jamie doesn't drink alcohol anymore, but he
Yeah.
definitely likes his energy drinks.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Yeah. Well, that's really really cool, and I know that I checked into it. I think they ship to Michigan, so I'm gonna have to pick up
Okay,
some of
cool.
that
Yeah,
and
definitely.
post about it. And
Even
yeah, but
the artwork on the cans is cool too. Even just for
yeah,
like
for
even if you
sure.
don't
Yeah.
drink, just for like a souvenir or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Does it something? Or I don't know if you would know, but does it ship cold? Is it in like some sort of thing, or if you were to have it and you just wanted to have it like as a
That
souvenir sitting up?
that I'm not sure.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't remember if it does that or
Okay.
not.
Well, I'll reach out to them and I'll see just as far as I can have a link in the video here when I edit it and have it on YouTube and
Cool.
have that on there so people will know because yeah, that's certainly
Yeah,
sick.
Breed Brew. Yeah.
Cool, awesome. I love that, man. All right, so my last finale, I was trying to think of a couple of different things, and one thing I wanted to ask you as far as on a selection of your own. Have you ever heard of the movie Judgment Night?
Oh yeah, saw it in the
Okay.
movies. Had the
Okay.
CD and everything.
Oh shit. Okay, even better. All right, so what
Yep.
we're gonna hit on is the CD, the soundtrack. They mixed so many of the metal bands and the different hip hop,
Yep.
all sorts of different things. So if Hatebreed were to collab with another artist outside of metal or rock and roll, who would you choose for Hatebreed to collab with?
Man, I think if we were doing a hip hop artist, I think it would be. Well, I think not. He's not alive anymore, but Mob Deep would be cool.
Oh my god, that would be
I mean,
so
NWA
sick.
would be good too, but that's kind of the everyone obvious answer.
Yeah.
But Mob Deep Hatebreed would have been a good collaboration.
Holy shit. Oh my god, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. It's one of those things like as far as with movies and different things nowadays, I wish they would get back to some of that stuff. Some of the soundtracks,
Yeah.
they have
Oh yeah.
exclusive songs. I hope that maybe some directors out there start getting into some of that shit because that was cool, man. That was
Yeah,
like
we were on one of the Saw soundtracks. Actually, it was in Ashes They Shall Reap. If you bought the DVD, I think the video is even at the end after the credits and everything.
damn,
And
really?
there was Saw. I don't remember which one. It was
Holy
2009, I think. So whichever Saw that was.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
So and there was a whole
13
soundtrack
or
with all
14.
metal bands. 4, 6, I don't know. Something.
Damn. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna have to go back and check that. I did not know that. That's sweet, man.
And
Well,
then I don't know
cool.
if you ever saw Triple X with Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
was the I Will Be Heard was in the movie. He's like snowboarding down the mountain or something. It's like things are blowing up and that starts playing. So that was pretty cool back in the day to see.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, yeah. I think that's something cool, and I think in film, different things like practical effects and things that are kind of gearing away from bigger CGI, huge Transformers movies.
Yeah.
I think that might be something that might come back, and I'm hoping so. Cool
That'd be
soundtracks.
nice. Yeah, that'd be
I'd
cool.
love that. I'd love that. All right, dude. Look, this is our time. I truly appreciate everything, and we had a little wrench here, but I'm glad that it worked out. And this has been amazing, man. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
definitely. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, this is going to be edited. I'll have it. Should be later this week on YouTube. I'll send you a link, and I'll have things posted on my page as well. But this is our time,
All
dude.
right.
So once
Cool.
again, thank you so much. Lo-fi
All right.
horror guy. I do Wayne Lozinak of Hatebreed. Go check
Yes.
out the new album, of course. I don't know if they still have these online, but if they do, pick it up. Or even not signed. It's fucking
I'll
great
even
album.
one of my buddies has just opened up a record store. I got to give a shout out to him. It's in Milford, Connecticut, called Static Era Records.
Sick.
So go see
Nice.
Jay. He might have some copies there.
Sweet. I love that. That's awesome. Yeah, for sure. Support local record shops because we can't let that shit die.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, man. Thank you so much. You take care and stay safe.
All right, you.
He's a lo-fi horror guy. Yeah, he's kind of a guy, but he is so lo-fi a horror guy. Yeah. Lo-fi horror guy has been recorded in front of a live studio audience.